Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm coming on, and this message is gonna sound a little bit like I'm saying something that I'm not, but I'm gonna say it anyway because there's only one way to articulate this. I was watching something, and the person said, the best way to get someone to treat you right is to treat them wrong. They also said in the same video that when you are genuinely good to someone and when you give them all that you've got, right, you become completely vulnerable and you're willing to do what it takes to make it work, right? That's the energy they were coming with. They said when you do this, the person is guaranteed to hurt you. Okay. Now, we can get into the law of balance, the law of karma. We can also get into karmic relationships and the push-pull. The twin flame dynamic is like this, right? The runner chaser. And these type of connections, they come in to help you see the sides of you that need some reflection. So if you're dealing with self-worth issues, or if you're on the self-love journey, you're going to attract someone where you're going to give them the love that you should be giving to yourself, right? And then as you give them your pure love that you should be giving to yourself, you're going to get into this state of delusion where you think that the feeling that you're feeling, right, which is pure love, you're going to believe the love you're feeling is them giving it to you. So you're going to be in this place where you think that your love that you're giving is coming from something outside of you, when you're simply feeling your own capacity to love through another person, right? And this is what's been happening. Many people are attracting others. These people are coming into our lives to show us a reflection of us. What happens is, of course, attachments and the belief that it is an external thing that's making you feel this way. And this is the self-love journey. This is what it's like. So when you treat someone with this type of love and they take it and they're not able to give it back to you, they're going to feel like you're giving them something they're not worthy of. And what kind of person would give a scumbag like me this kind of love? That person must not know their worth. So they're going to treat you like someone who doesn't know their worth. So they're going to breadcrumb you. They're going to not be reliable. They're going to not reciprocate anything. They're not even going to show as if they care. Because why would they? Why should they? You don't care about yourself. That's what they're reflecting. They're reflecting the darkness that's within you because of the belief, right? This is happening only because you believe that it is them giving you this love. When you're on the self-love journey, eventually you will learn and you will realize that the love that you feel is your own love. And those who are setting the boundaries will be able to realize, oh, wow, yeah, it is not their love that I'm feeling. It is my love that I'm giving to them being reflected back to me that I'm feeling. So this is actually a feeling I can get whether or not they are here, right? If they leave, I'll still feel this love. If they're here, I'll still feel this love. I'll just feel it more in the 3D because they're able to reflect it to me in real time, etc. Now, this is where separation is so important. Okay, this is where separation is so important and why it is very effective. Because when you are no longer in the vicinity of the person, if you're really on the journey, you will realize that this is an energy you can tap into, not only with and through this person, but by yourself, right? When you're by yourself, and you can actually tap into this energy with another person. The love you feel is yours. So What's happening is opposites attract, right? At least this is what's been happening for the past few years, or maybe this is what's been happening our whole lives. We just haven't been aware of it. Right now, those who are doing the work, you're going to have the realization that people who come into your life will only reflect to you something that you need to work on, right? So if you're dealing with abandonment, fear of the unknown, fear of never being loved, shame, guilt, resentment, insecurities, whatever they are, as you give the authentic side of you, and this is what activates these things, okay? It's when you're vulnerable, right? So when you open your heart, this is where I'm going. So once you are doing real heart chakra work, you're being vulnerable, you're opening up, you're being who you are. The people that you attract will reflect to you the sides of you that still need to be experienced. These are the dark sides of you. So they will bring up to the surface a feeling that you don't want to feel. Here's where it's important. When the feeling comes up, do not blame them for feeling this way. That's the first mistake that people are making. We attribute the feeling to the external. Please don't do that. Sit and reflect in that energy. That energy was there before you even knew they existed. Believe me, okay? They only brought it to the surface. Now, if and when, because it will happen if you're doing the actual work, okay? And this is why many people are saying they're continuously getting disappointed, because I don't think we're understanding the purpose of people who come into our life. We just have this preconceived notion that they should show up a certain way. Let's forget that. There's a bigger thing happening, guys. Those of you who are on the journey, okay, follow me here. When that feeling arises, whatever it is that the person brought to the surface, feel it out. Own that feeling. Believe me, it gets easier as time goes on. Whatever the feeling is, talk to it. I am aware that you're here. I'm not sure why you're here, but I'm feeling you. I feel you completely. I'm going to allow you to be. I will not judge you. And then I'm letting you go. If you can do this without blame of the external party, without looking at something as if it is someone else's fault, without feeling some type of resentment, anger that you direct to some outside external person or thing, okay? If you can do that, you will never have to experience that energy again. This is where the slowdown, this is where the blocks are. Okay, this is why it's taking so long to attract something that you can be in harmony with, right? Okay. The thing I was listening to where the person said, if you treat the person bad, they'll treat you good, or they will want you, they will yearn for you, they will chase you, they will try to be there, they will be available to you. When you learn to play the game of life, you will understand this dynamic of push-pull. If I treat them good, they treat me bad. If I treat them bad, they'll treat me good. This is only for those who are still coexisting between like the karmic realms, right? Where you still need some kind of balance. So there's different ways you can do this. Because you do need to find some kind of balance in order for things to be equalized. All right, if you're looking for equilibrium, which is when whatever the person does, it doesn't throw you off. Like they can show up like shit and you're fine. They can show up like wonderful and you're fine. It doesn't matter how they show up. Your love for yourself is so grounded within. So if you are out there in the dating realm and you still know that A person showing up good puts you in this energy of euphoria, and you're all in the hoopla and you're excited and this is that. You get that dopamine fix, right? And then you're way up in the sky and you're flying high and you're excited. Just know when the person does not show up how you expect them to, that can throw off your balance. Vice versa. If you are out there and once things don't go right, it sends you down in the dumps and it takes you a while to get back to your equilibrium. You're still working with attachment issues one way or the other, right? Where you're defining your happiness through an external energy. So one way to deal with this is self-reflection. This is pulling back. This is going within. This is not giving people access to you. Whether or not you're being genuine or not genuine is irrelevant. You're just not giving people access. You're not at that space to give yourself to people because they throw you off too much, right? When you start getting to that place of trusting yourself a little bit more, where a person doesn't have that much of an effect on you, you're free to play the game more loosely. And I'm saying play the game simply because that's what this is, right? So what this means is, okay, I meet a person, I like them, I would like for it to turn out this way, but if it doesn't, I'm good, right? I talked about the law of detachment. If you can do that, you're free to play the game, because whether or not the person shows up like this or that, tomorrow, my plans don't change. I don't need to turn my phone off. I don't need to tell people I'm not available. I don't need to purge anything out. You know what I mean? You are okay, okay? So what was supposed to happen last night, it didn't happen because I found something out. Oh, well, tomorrow, it's a new day. I'm good. If you're able to balance your own emotions in that way, and what this is, it means your masculine and your feminine energy are working together. Some people, their masculine and feminine energy are still working separately, and this comes from belief systems, okay? And when your masculine and feminine energy are still working separately, you can attract a karmic situation, because it's not until they start working together, right? The masculine honors the feminine within you. You have a feeling and you take action that honors that feeling. That's your masculine and feminine energy working together, okay? And then when you take the action, whatever the action is, you feel inspired, you feel motivated, you feel encouraged, you feel empowered. That is the feminine honoring the masculine. So those who are still operating from an imbalance where I'm doing this not because I want to, but because I have to, or I'm doing this because I'm afraid of what will happen if I don't do it, you're still operating from a separate space. And your masculine and feminine, they do not agree. They are not listening to each other. They're fighting. This is when you invite energies that bring chaos. The sad thing about this whole thing is that most of the time, people are subconsciously hurting other people, right? It's not in their conscious mind that I'm going to hurt them when they're doing it. Can it be true for some? I'm pretty sure, yes. There are people who come into the relationship with the idea, I don't want them, I'm just going to use them. And I'm going to tell you something, if you're attracting that kind of energy and you entertain it, you may want to get yourself out of the game for a while. You want to go sit by yourself, because if that's what you're attracting, there's a part of you that's doing that too. And what I've been noticing is it's manipulation. The manipulation tactics that people are using, and they don't realize that they are a manipulator, right? Omitting information or telling white lies or trying to joke about something that's serious or dismissing another person's point of view, feeling, or ideas. You know, not considering another person's feelings or how what one is doing, how what I'm doing could affect another person who I'm interacting with regularly, right? Moving through life as if what I'm doing, since I made no commitment to another person, I'm only going to do what benefits me, and they will just have to deal with whatever happens on their side because I have to take care of me. Let me tell you something. There's karma that comes with that. Everything needs to be balanced. So if you know you're not in a space to walk in integrity, right? And what this means is doing what you know is right when it comes to your own moral standards. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if you know you wouldn't like someone to do something to you, don't do it to another person. And at the same time, if you don't mind something being done to you, even though it's bad, negative, or it's an unpleasant thing, just because you don't mind it happening to you, if you know it's an unpleasant thing, you still shouldn't do it to another person, right? Because some of you are dealing with people who have lower self-worth issues than you. So what they're doing to you, they don't mind it happening to them. It's just that's how low their standards are, and they will implode their own low self-worth onto you. Well, I don't care if someone did that to me. Well, that's because you're shit, right? And that's because you don't know who you are, and that's because you hate yourself. That does not make it okay for you to do that to another person. Some people just really have a lot of work to do, and they just don't realize how low their standards are. Listen to the things people are saying. When a person tells you, I don't trust people, take that as a disclosure. They're telling you they don't trust themselves. The verbiage changes as a person is on the self-worth journey, right? Instead of I don't trust people, they will speak more in a powerful way, because I don't trust people means I give people so much power over me that it can throw me off. They would speak more in a sense of power, right? I trust myself enough that whatever happens here, I'll be all right? Instead of, I don't like people, they'll say something more of, I like myself enough that cannot affect me as much as it think it can. Or if it does affect me, it's not going to throw me off my balance. They speak in a more empowered way, is where I'm going. I don't care for people. No, they're not going to say it that way. It just won't roll out a person's mouth in that sense if they're on their self-love journey. They'll say more of, people are changing, the world is changing, you just have to be aware, you have to discern, you have to choose wisely, right? This is a person who understands, yes, I'm going to bump into some crappy people, but I'm also going to meet some pleasant people. And I'm out there paying attention. I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm not going to just dismiss everyone, okay? So what we don't want to do is get into this negative mindset where we are now thinking that we have to go out and be bad in order to get something good. Does that work? Most of the time it will. Because of the law of karma, because of the law of balance, yeah, opposites attract. Because we are energy and we will pull to us the polar opposite of where we're coming from, yes. If you are going out there and you know you're playing games and you know that you're just going to get in there to get something temporary, so you are working from your false self and playing games where I'm not going to give all my all, you might attract someone who is giving their all, but you end up picking up karmic debt there, right? And this is what I'm seeing. The other balance is happening now because those who are authentic and those who are pure with their energy are now just giving it to themselves. Y'all, please understand that's where we are. So if you are someone who is genuine, loving, caring, and you give your pure energy If a person shows you they're not in the space to give you their pure energy, right? And usually, many people will meet good people. You will meet good people, right? But then they show you, or they even tell you, I have background energy that I'm still dealing with. Please take that as a disclosure to no longer give them full access to you. I don't care how good they are. If a person has told you, I can't give you my full energy because I'm still clearing out something, I'm still dealing with this, or something from the past came back and I'm trying to deal with this, make sure they don't get your full, pure energy anymore, because it will be parasitic to you. So if you are aware, even if they didn't tell you, but if you know that this person has another energy they must deal with and they have not gotten a hold of it yet, you do need to guard yourself. You need to set boundaries here, okay? You want to give to yourself if you're attracting things, experiences, people, places, whatever, that can't give to you fully. Because we're at a shift change right now where we can't afford to give our energy to something that just can't give back to us at the same equal volume. So if you're in that situation, please keep your energy to yourself. Right now, I would actually say it is important to seclude yourself and retain your energy for yourself. This means enjoy your life fully, completely. So you do want to use the energy, use it right. So if it is something or someone in your life that can't give back to you the same way you're giving to them, please. And I'm going to say this is important up until the next full moon that we have. And I think it's going to be around the 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there. You can't be giving this energy to anyone. You don't want to exhaust this energy. You want to save it for yourself right now. Give it to yourself. This is so important. So if you don't know how to play the game right? And this means you've mastered the art of detachment. You can jump into something that you know can't give to you, because when you jump out, you're not affected. That's how you play the game right. If you don't know how to do that, keep your energy to yourself for now. As the stars align, the stars change in the sky, we change. The rules change. The rules right now is don't give to something that can't give to you. They are harvesting your energy. They're taking from you. They will leave you at an imbalance, and then you will end up having to heal something you didn't have at the beginning of this journey. So please, guys, love yourself first. Love yourself more than you love someone else, because you can't love somebody else. Really, that's not even love if you don't love yourself. You just can't. Right? The formula is the love you have within you is the only true love, is the love you give to yourself. The love you give to yourself is the only love. So if two people truly love themselves, they meet, something happens. Two people who truly love themselves, who meet, there is some kind of spark that happens. And it is a win for everyone when that happens. That is so rare, right? But it's becoming more and more and more regular, though, because many are on this journey. What you don't want to do is walk around with a chip on your shoulder because you can't get something you think you should have. All right? That means you're still on the journey, and don't feel bad about it. This takes time. So right now, things are happening. I'm being shown like there are things happening because people are making better choices. But if you know you have someone in your environment who's not making good choices, understand what it means if you continue to engage there, okay? What we don't want to do is lose ourselves again and again and again and over and over again. By this time, by this point, you should already know better, okay? To bring this back around, relationships are about balance, okay? Everything is about balance. Everything we're going through, in order to experience peace, joy, contentment in it, it has to be balanced, okay? And those who are still operating from their wounded masculine and wounded feminine energies, you will attract a karmic relationship. And a karmic relationship is there to help you balance. It's there to reflect to you the areas within you that have not been balanced out. That is the purpose of a karmic relationship. And the karmic relationship is simply an unbalanced relationship. It's not equal. It's not balanced. There is no harmony. And it turns toxic when there are two individuals who don't understand that together we are not growing. Together we are actually hurting each other, and we are stifling our own growth, and we're going to try to force this, even though it's imbalanced. We're going to try to force this situation because the world says so, or because of whatever belief systems the two are operating from. Now, if there's only one person in the relationship who is doing the work, it's still going to remain in balance, okay? So be mindful of this. If you're doing the work and your partner is not, you're going to find yourself in a karmic and maybe even toxic if you stay too long. The goal is to attract a balanced relationship with a balanced partner or someone who's working on themselves. We are always working on ourselves, so let's remember that. But those who are consciously trying to become the best version of themselves, those are the people who will attract a balanced partnership. And this is when we get into divine unions and life partnerships or a destined fated relationship. They're usually two people who's been on the path, doing the work, etc. Life is about balance. That's what life is. Balance. Okay? And it's actually a very beautiful thing. That's what beauty is. Beauty is the perfect balance. So as we are on this journey, we will meet people who are there to help us. Everyone is a mirror, one way or another. What you want to focus on is the areas that needs balance within you. When you're aware, when you're self-aware, you'll know what's happening as you're interacting with people. This is why it's important to do the work. You're balancing your masculine and feminine energy. The people you meet, they're a mirror. They're going to reflect to you the areas within you. If what you see triggers you, or it brings this feeling where you want to run, or you need to guard yourself, or it may even bring up fears, you're most likely in an unbalanced situation. And whatever comes next, you're agreeing to receive. Because once you feel that feeling of imbalance, that means the person you're interacting with will reflect to you something that either you refuse to see, you deny to see, or you've been pushing away. But if you're interacting with someone and it is balanced, and what you see, you love it, then that's a telltale sign that you're most likely moving more into some type of divine partnership, some type of fated union, some type of life partnership with another person. Okay? They bring the sense of harmony within you. Okay? So protect yourself and be safe out there. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Bye-bye.
You are in a karmic relationship. You are not in love. You're in trauma that y'all have bonded through together, which is making it seem like y'all are in love when y'all are in a union that has no future, that has no blessing in it, that has nothing good attached to it. But y'all are feeding off of each other just to get through the day. That's a karmic relationship. That is a trauma bond, and that's a soul tie that needs to be cut. Or neither one of y'all will ever prosper. neither one of y'all will ever get to where y'all want to be. Even some days where it seems good, the ball just drops. That's because when two energies that are not supposed to be together are colliding, and it causes problems spiritually, mentally, financially, emotionally, physically, all across the board. And y'all have went through so much together that you feel obligated to stay. And if that's the case, y'all don't want to see each other with nobody else. So y'all just put up with whatever comes with y'all being together. Yeah, that's not good.
Masculine and feminine energy. Whether you're a man or a woman, you have both. The problem happens when we get out of balance. For a man, if he's too in his masculine, he's disconnected from his emotions. He's so busy working. He's so busy becoming. He's so busy acquiring. He's so busy going after the next goal that he's forgotten how to feel. He's disconnected from his emotions, and therefore he cannot share those emotions, those feelings with his spouse, his children, or anybody. And he numbs that pain with alcohol and work. For a woman, she too can be in her masculine energy. This typically happens when she was let down by her father, and she created a story as a little girl that she would never be let down by a man again. So energetically, she becomes a man. She starts to work hard. She starts to pursue. She starts to want to become. And yet that leads her to a life of restlessness. Nothing wrong with becoming whatever a woman wants to become. What's wrong is when she loses touch of her true power, which is her womb, her intuition, and her ability to create. Whether you're a man or a woman, you've got to understand that you have both masculine energy, the ability to vision, create, decide, and figure out, and feminine energy, the ability to receive and love and feel and care for. And when either of these are out of balance, life gets out of balance. And it shows up in one of three ways: in your relationships, in your finances, or in your physical health. And that's why healing is so important, because healing takes you back into your past to show you the root cause of what got you out of balance when you were a little boy or a little girl. Healing allows you to get back into harmony with both your masculine side and your feminine side. And when you do that, life changes forever, because the world is telling you that you have to work hard and grind for everything so that you'll never be at peace. But your true power is in doing both. It's in envisioning what you want and allowing the universe to give it to you through the receivership of your heart. And when you tap into that, you'll earn 10 times the money in 1/2 of the effort. You'll attract your dream partner, and your health and your body will be able to let go of all of the stored trauma that you've been holding on to your entire life in your lower back, your hips, your shoulders, and all over your body. This is when you can be free of all of life's limitations. And this is when you become your highest self.
So, for example, if my partner is in a very heated moment, let's say she's in her masculine right now, all right? She's getting rough. Well, meeting her with more masculine is probably gonna only make things worse.
Yeah.
This is the time for me to be compassionate, go to her, hold her, calm her down, bring her peace in that moment. You see? Because we need to balance each other out. Same thing on the flip side. If I'm all heated and I'm extra passionate, and then my woman now comes with that same energy, that's it. Now we're butting heads. This is her moment to say, no, let me now be the one to soften the moment up, bring that sweetness in there, and everybody calms down. So it's learning how to feed off of each other and recognize, okay, they're over here, let me bring it back over here. And now we can work from that point and we're both good.
Feminine and masculine energy are in both men and women. Generally, you identify one way or the other. Men tend to, and there are exceptions, tend to have way more masculine energy, but do have feminine energy, and there are an appropriate time to use feminine energy. So for anybody who's a new dad, you would probably go, oh yeah, I get this. If you got a baby at home, you tend to operate more in the feminine when you're around an infant. And there's a nurturing, comforting energy there that's really beautiful and necessary. And women, arguably somewhat of a tragedy, are being asked to, or in some ways may feel compelled or forced to show up in the masculine way more than they want to, because there is a void of the masculine in a lot of men right now.
She has to exhibit masculinity. For a woman to do business, she has to exhibit masculine energy. Feminine energy is not pussy or gay like most men like, man, you feminine, that's pussy. Feminine energy is nurturing and caring. And that's one thing that I had to learn, because I was big on the tough all the time. The masculine and the feminine is different. But at the same time, I know the difference between raising a man and raising a woman. Now, my woman not going to conduct herself like that because I'm going to provide a safe place for her to exhibit femininity. She not going to have to be tough because she got me, she got a man.
Masculinity is willpower, determination, work ethic, right? Femininity is creativity. It is imagination. It is all things abstract. So when you combine masculine energy and feminine energy, this is where you get your creative power to manifest the things that you want in your life. Every human being has masculine and feminine energy. So for a male to say a woman is too masculine, what he's really saying is you too much of a go-getter. You got too much work ethic. You got too much determination, right? That's really what it's saying. So when you combine these two, you create great things. When you don't have masculine energy, then you fail to do anything. When you don't have access to femininity, you become reckless. The lack of access to this feminine space becomes a devil's workshop because you're going to do something. You're just not going to have no control over what you do, and you'll be destructive.
I don't know what a feminine man is. I don't
know exactly what it is. And you honestly feel threatened by them because that's the one thing that you probably lack as a human is this empathy vehicle that you're so afraid to lay claim to, when really it's necessary for your manhood. I believe that 1,000%. The most well-rounded individuals, male and female, must have the ability to be what y'all call this masculine. When it's as a woman, it's like when it's two becomes one, there's got to be some bleed over. There's this purge. There's this sauce that you make of a man's masculinity and a woman's femininity. Those things don't, just like y'all mesh, so does that energy. I would not expect my woman to not pick up some sort of masculine traits, but these are mine. I get to watch her use my slang, carry that like I carry it. That's the most beautiful thing. As long as we call it a war, we will forever be intimidated when we see it in ourselves. But that's really just women touch you in a way that make you softer, bro.
Yeah.
And you must acquire that to survive.
All right, question of the day. My girlfriend is generally in her masculine energy. Is there anything I can do to get her back into her feminine? Okay, so normally I don't buy into the whole masculine feminine energy thing. My first question would be, what does being in her masculine mean to you? Because most of the time what I assume you mean is she's more guarded, more dominant, independent, maybe stoic. And we have a tendency to see those in a female as bad. Even in your question, you're asking, how can I get her to be different than the way she is, right? And what we don't realize is that that's part of the reason she's guarded and independent in the first place, because she's never felt accepted and loved for who she is. The people who were supposed to love and accept her the most, the people who were supposed to treat her with the most warmth and consistency and remind her she's valuable and worthy of their time, energy, and attention, potentially neglected her. She most likely doesn't know what safety feels like. So the last thing we want to do is make her feel like the way she is bad and that she's not good enough and she needs to change to be accepted. Now, 2 quick points. I'm not saying that she's setting herself up for a healthy relationship by being closed off. I'm saying her behavior makes sense. She's protecting herself from being hurt again. And 2, your needs matter as well in this situation. You don't need to get her to do anything. You can inspire her. You can provide her the safe place she lacked growing up. You can seek to understand her pain and remind her she's worthy of kindness and respect. But whether she's receptive to any of that is still up to her.
Givers generally withdraw when they have nothing to give, right? Because they feel uncomfortable receiving. And so if they're in other people's presence and they don't have anything to give, it makes them feel even more uncomfortable and it doubles down on their energy level, right? It like takes from them even more. Yeah. So if they're sick, they're stressed out, they're tired, they tend to want to withdraw. Just having an awareness of that can help you, one, get more into reciprocal relationship where there's more of an equal exchange. By the way, best relationships is an equal exchange. The people that we are closest to, there tends to be an equal exchange of give and take. But if you're a giver, you'll struggle with that, especially if you identify as being the giver in relationship and you want to be that, you'll ultimately become a martyr because you'll push all the other givers out of your life because you don't know how to receive. Yeah. You feel uncomfortable receiving.
Yes.
right? So then that's what happens. And then when you're sick, you're tired, you're just like, leave me alone, because you literally don't know how to receive. And being in community, one of the beautiful things about community is learning how to have reciprocal relationship where in your weak moments, the people around you can help you. That's just very hard if you've never learned how to receive. And there's usually a trauma response to why we don't enjoy receiving.
You're not the mommy, you're not the daddy of each other. That's not what it is. You need to have a balance between having your own independence, being your own person, making your own choices, but also knowing that you are together as a couple. You don't need permission, but you probably had a conversation. You probably know the schedule. You're probably pitching in with your 2 kids along the way and sharing responsibilities and helping out. You're a team. It's not about controlling what each other does. It's about having enough respect for each other that you're a team together. If you want to do your own thing, I tell my wife all the time, you want to go somewhere and do it? Go right ahead. I don't tell you what to do. You don't need my permission. You are your own person. You live your own life.
Give me one break, I need faith. Faith to believe you, faith to receive you. Give me something